Hey, happy January 23rd. It is 9:30 a.m. and it's time for our Texas Counselors Creating Badass Businesses Facebook Live. And this week, I'm all about the 30-day practice challenge. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm going to try to do it without earbuds today. So if we get a little bit of ambient noise like, oh, I don't know, my dog barking, that's Bella, the pool guy's here, and she's letting him know how ferocious she is. So I've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Hey, Jamie, thanks for joining. Gosh, I need to put these back on. So first things first, I like to give shout outs here. Hey, Solano, thanks for watching. So if you have a great business or if you're starting something new in your business, I am so happy to give a shout out and let's spread the wealth a little bit. Hey, Linda, thanks for watching. Debbie, good to see you. I want you guys to grow, right? Because we're mental health professionals. There are shortages and we need to get the good news out there. So I'm going to tell you about Julie Parkin today. Julie Parkin is starting yoga for emotional wellness as a part of her practice, and you can check her out at julieparkin.com. And I know that this is, I stalk you guys on Facebook, so I know when you guys are doing new things and starting new things. And so if you've got something and you want me to give a shout out on the Facebook Live, I'm happy to do that. Also, don't forget, I'm going to be in Austin this Saturday, January the 25th, at the LPC Intern Association Inaugural Summit. And this is amazing. I'm going to read it from here. The summit is called Breaking Barriers When Mental Health Gets Messy. And it's going to be at the UT campus at the George L.R.I. Sanchez building. And I'm really excited about this because I get to help supervisors connect with students, potential interns, and associates. So if you are in the Austin area, awesome, Blaine. Hey, I think you're presenting too, right? So come up and say hi. I have no idea how many people will be there representing the supervisors. I know there are a ton of students and there are a ton of LPC interns and associates who are already registered. Hey, Rochelle, thanks for joining. And so I'm sponsoring, Kate Walker Training is sponsoring a room for supervisors and interns to interview one another, to get to know one another, and hopefully make some real supervision love matches, right? So that we can get great supervisors matched with amazing interns and supervisees. Definitely, Linda, come back and check us out on replay because this video stays up. I've learned that about Facebook, right? They keep my live videos up. All right, so today we're continuing the January 30-day practice challenge, which has to do with organizing your time, your space, your money, doing one marketing thing every day and one thing that's actually going to make you money. And I talked about money a little bit last week. I've talked about time. Today is sort of a combo, right? Because what is an elevator pitch? I'm going to take you on the elevator with me. An elevator pitch may sound like a marketing tool, so not necessarily a thing that's going to make you money today, but I'm telling you guys, if you do this correctly, if you do an elevator pitch correctly, you will get a referral, and it might be today. It just depends on how you do it. This isn't my original idea. I'm not making, this isn't a Kate Walker Training patented thing. Elevator pitches have been around forever. Some people call them 30-second speeches. Everybody's got a name for it. So definitely Google the term, see what you like out there. I've posted a few on our Badass Business group page. But I've been listening to the Tim Ferriss blog for a long, long time. And the one I just finished listening to where they're interviewing a man named Chip Connolly. And if you don't know Chip Connolly, I didn't know who Chip Connolly was. I had to Google him. Wow. Oh my gosh. The things this person has done. And it is I'll tell you exactly, it's the Chip Connolly, Tim Ferriss podcast number 374. And as you listen to this guy talk about his life, talk about the things he's done, Richard Branson wrote the foreword for his book. What you get is a very, very clear understanding how careful he is talking about who he is, right? So an elevator speech is made up of parts, right? And the first part is, who are you? So I'm just going to read. I was taking some notes. I'm going to tell you some of the things that this person started with or talked throughout this podcast. First of all, his why. Simon Sinek talks about discovering your why when you're forming your business, right? So he formed his business because he wanted creativity and freedom. Now, he's described himself, as far as I can tell, two ways. The first part of his life, he described himself as a boutique hotelier. In the second part of his life, he's describing himself as the world's leading expert on festivals. So that's pretty specific, right? Well, as therapists, we get to be even more specific. And if you have taken my Badass Business course, if you have attended any of my trainings about private practice, enjoying your ethical, profitable private practice, I talk about this. Who are you? Right? I am a therapist. I am a helper. I'm a counselor. I'm a social worker. I am, right? This I am helps this person standing across from you understand exactly who you are, what you do, right? So the first part, the who am I? And folks, we change our identities all the time. I mean, maybe you get a divorce, maybe you get an illness. We can change anything about ourselves at any time. So how you conceptualize yourself. Hi, my name is, and I help, and then you fill in that blank. So the first part is who you are. The second part is, what do you have, or what do you own, or who do you represent, right? So I'm Dr. Kate Walker, and I own AchieveBalance.org. Now you might have a few more seconds and you can describe where it's located. AchieveBalance.org is a marriage and family therapy practice located in the Woodlands, Texas, just around the corner in Market Street, right? You memorize that. And so, hi, my name, this is who I am, this is what I own. Now, this is the part where people get messy, right? How do we help? You know, I spend so much time on how do we help, because as a counselor, you get wrapped up in this whole thing like what we're doing is voodoo or something, right? So, well, it's a difficult process and counseling's hard to explain. And well, you know, do you want to hear where I went to school? Can I tell you some more about my licenses and my degrees? No, people don't want to know that. They don't understand that. They don't know what that is. I think a lot of you would agree, most of your clients just think you're Dr. So-and-so, which our code of ethics say you must correct as soon as they say that, so that they know exactly who you are. But remember, your degrees, your certifications, all of those things, those are just letters to the person in front of you, right? So they want to know what great problem you solve. All right, I'm going to say that again. What great problem do you solve? And your verbs here are really, really important. So verbs like provide, I help, I create, I supply, I manage, right? So if I'm describing myself to my person, I say, hi, I'm Dr. Kate Walker. I own a marriage and therapy practice called AchieveBalance.org. I'm located in the Woodlands, Texas, just around the corner in Market Street. And I help families struggling with an addicted member. I help couples struggling to survive infidelity. I help individuals struggling to become independent or launch in their early 20s or late teens. So those verbs, these are the problems that I solve, that I help solve. All right, so if you don't clearly understand what problem it is you're trying to solve, start with the problem that you see most. If you see folks most of the time struggling with grief, then say that. I help individuals struggling with the loss of a loved one. Or if you help people transition in careers, I help folks find jobs. I help them discover parts of themselves that they didn't know before so they can get back on the career path, right? So talk about what problem you solve. This next part is your emotional hook. Now, the emotional hook is what gets people from the zoning out from what you're saying because they lost you somewhere. And this is helping them really connect with you. So the words that I use, most people know someone. Have you ever noticed? I'm sure you can think of a time. So let me give you an example. So when I give my elevator speech, I might say to this group of people in front of me, I'm sure you all know someone who has struggled with infidelity. I'm sure you all know someone who has a child, an adult child who's struggling to launch. And yeah, this may take a little bit more than 30 seconds. So if you've already got the person in the elevator and they're following you to lunch, remember I told you that in my post, you never know, they could follow you to lunch. Have you ever noticed the number of people who look for therapists but can't find a good one? I'm sure you can think of a time when somebody asked you for help and you didn't know who to send them to. So right now, that person is emotionally connecting with a distressful time. They can picture that person. They know they had that conversation at their last cocktail party, right? And so yes, oh my gosh, yes, I know that person. Now this is where so many counselors fall, right? It's when you don't have a next step for them, right? What's the next step? Well, tell them to give me a call. Hang on a second. Let me get my business card. Oh, wait a second. It's this pocket. Okay, here's my business card. Right? It's that fumble. It's like having a website that takes 5 clicks to find your phone number, right? So how can you help this person connect easy with you? Well, if you've watched my lives or you've seen any of my vlogs or you've watched my YouTube channel or you have been a part of my circle or presentations, you know that I talk about the 10-minute consultation. You give the person across from you an easy way to become a member of your marketing team. So I'm going to say that again. You're not trying to turn the person in front of you into your client. You're not. It's too awkward. Now, they might become your client based on the next words that come out of your mouth, but if you're looking at someone and saying, are you doing okay? Because if you're not, I can help you. Here's my card. Call me. That's probably not going to work out. I don't want to put bad mojo on that, but that's just a very awkward encounter. But what you can do is you can tell this person, have you ever noticed how people tend to talk about kids and not being able to launch them and it's really distressing? Well, I do that. And if you know anybody, I would, and this is the kicker right here, you ask for what you need. What I could really use is you letting people know to click the orange button. It's a really easy process. All right, I'm going to say that again. Here's what I need from you, person in the elevator. I need you to tell those people that are going through your mind right now to click the orange button. The orange button is how you contact me. When you go to achievebalance.org, you'll see an orange button. Did you notice I just said orange button 3 times? Right? Orange button, orange button, orange button. That guy's or female is going to be thinking about orange buttons all day long. And so if you have your website and you have control of it and you're able to go in, most of your scheduling software is going to have a widget so that you can create a button, right? Your phone number and this button should be as big as your logo, right? If you've got your bio and then a tiny little place where they can phone you, you're barking up the wrong tree, right? Because you want this person in front of you to have directions, right? You just told them who you are. You just told them what great problem you solved. You just helped remind them of a person who could literally use your help today. And now you're going to fumble the ball about how to contact you? Come on, right? So here's what I need from you. I need you to let that person know to push the orange button, go to, or say your name, like, johnsmith.com, push the orange button, schedule a 10-minute consultation, and I can talk to them today. They will get an answer today. I'm not going to play phone tag. I will answer their questions today. I didn't say that I would see them for a session today. I didn't say that I would cure them today. I said that I would become a resource, right? So this is the real crux of the matter here. One of the things that we don't understand is the unmet need of our potential client, right? We think that they need us and our expertise and our certification, and of course they need that. But what they also need is a fast way to contact you. All right, they need a quick way to know that they're not going to play phone tag with you. This person in front of you wants to tell their friend about a reliable source of information, not another person that they're just going to call and wait a week for them to call back. So if you know right now that you're not great at returning phone calls or emails, or you have 15 different ways to contact you and you're great at checking about half of them, and then you find an email next week that, oh my gosh, I didn't see that, you need to go back and look at your space and your time. All right, because when you look at your systems, if you're still chasing emails, then you don't have control of your time, or you may not have control of your space. This month, January 2020, is a great time to start getting all this organized, and I will talk about that next week. I'm going to talk about your space, how to make sure things are organized. And space just doesn't mean your office space, right? It means your systems, the space that your business exists in. So your elevator speech, if it's dropping great information into a big old pile of clutter, virtual clutter, literal clutter, doesn't matter, and you don't find it, then a great elevator speech isn't going to matter anyway. All right, so let's review. Hi, I'm Dr. Kate Walker. My marriage and family therapy practice, achievebalance.org, is located just around the corner in Market Street in the Woodlands, Texas. And I help families who are struggling with an addicted member. I help couples struggling to survive infidelity, or individuals struggling with anxiety and depression brought on by a shift schedule working in the oil and gas industry. Here's how you can really help me. I bet you right now you know someone. Have you ever well, I'm sorry, I'm going to use my own words. I haven't said this in a while. Most people know someone who struggles with these issues, and I bet you do. If you could just tell that person that you're thinking about right now to contact me by pushing the orange button on achievebalance.org. If they push that orange button, they can schedule a 10-minute consultation with me today. So just by pushing the orange button, they can connect with a real person. I have tons of resources. I can answer their questions, and I can either see them or refer them. So again, my name is Kate Walker. I have a marriage and therapy practice called achievebalance.org. We're located in Market Street in the Woodlands, Texas. Thanks for helping people find me by pushing that orange button. So, all right, so that's an elevator speech. And I know it sounds a little bumpy, right? I need to kind of practice it in front of my mirror again. And yes, folks, literally I practice this in front of a mirror when I'm going to go speak to a group, when I'm going to go talk to a chamber, when I'm going to go talk to a BNI group, when I'm going to go talk to a PTO meeting. I practice this elevator speech so that it comes off very smoothly and I sound confident, right? But I have to know who I am. I'm a helper. This is how I help. When people do call me for the 10-minute consultation, the first thing I say is, tell me a little bit about what's going on. So I'm prepping them so they understand that this is a 10-minute conversation. Then I say, well, here's how I help. The first session, I'm going to ask a lot of questions. I'm going to get to know you the best that I can. Hey, Marianne. And then I'm going to give you some suggestions, some homework, something to read or write or look up on the internet. The second session, we're going to course correct based on your feedback. And so by the third session, you're going to have some coping tools and you're going to know if working with me is going to be a good fit. So in that moment, I've helped them understand counseling and counseling with me. So they understand that I'm not going to hit a home run in the first session. In the first session, I'm just going to interview them. Right? I'm going to give them some possibilities, and 2 out of 3 of them are probably going to be out of left field and way wrong. But I'm giving them some power so that they know that they have some things to do, and we work together. So I've even embedded in my 10-minute consultation this idea that this is a collaborative relationship, right? So many folks go to doctors to get their referrals. There's nothing wrong with that. But remember, folks who go to the doctor are expecting a medical model. I know I am, right? When I go to the doctor with a sinus infection, I want him to use his medical model, diagnose me, and get me some medicine. So when those folks are referred to you from a physician, a lot of times they're coming from a one down, right? They're expecting you to have an answer and that they will passively receive that and that counseling will work, right? So one of the things you can start with this elevator speech is this idea that, no, this is a collaboration. We're a team. And you bring this person on the elevator into your marketing team, right? You're telling them, hey, look, I know you know somebody who needs help. I'm giving you an easy way to do it. You just tell them to click the button. You don't have to act like you know their business. You give them an easy, non-emotional way to find answers, right? And so let's take the big picture now. Do you see what we just did here? We decided that the unmet need wasn't therapy, it was answers. Hey, Rachel, thanks for joining. So the unmet need is, we're thinking, someone who really just wants to dive into therapy. And I'm going to tell them how to really start diving into therapy. Well, most people are terrified to dive into therapy. Your very first client who's never been in counseling before may be just terrified and they just want to ask a couple of questions. So you use that verbiage, right? I can answer your questions today. I'm a great resource. In fact, I think I've said this on the Facebook Live before. Even now, I haven't been to a chamber meeting or a BNI meeting in years, but I have people come up to me and say, hey, look, I know you've got resources, right? If I had just done the elevator pitch on I'm a therapist who specializes in infidelity, people aren't going to come up and talk to me ever, right? In fact, that's what happened until I learned how to do this. I would go to these meetings. I would say, hi, I'm Dr. Kate Walker. My specialty is helping couples survive infidelity. And every head in the room, down, right? Everybody's looking at their knees suddenly. So when you tell people that you are a resource and you let them know they can reach you quickly, and this is the best part, especially in this day and age, and anonymously. Yes, when they go, at least in my scheduling software, I use Full Slate. When they click the orange button, they are going to have to give me some information like their name and phone number, right? So I can call them back. But beyond that, it's not a relationship at that point. Now, ethically, this is my code of ethics. I treat that contact as if it was protected by HIPAA, House Bill 300, Chapter 611. I protect that information. And my Full Slate software is HIPAA compliant, so I can take notes in there. And the coolest thing of all, my Full Slate software will actually remember that 10-minute consultation and send out follow-up emails. It'll send it out however I program it. And right now I have it programmed for, I think, 6 weeks after the last contact, and then annually from the first, I can't remember if it's the first or the last contact. So every year, even these 10-minute consultation folks will get a little reminder email, hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing great. Don't forget we're here when you need us, and have a great day. So there are lots of ways this elevator speech, this one marketing, right? It's a marketing activity, is also a way that it can become one of the things that helps make you money today, because you are literally giving this person who maybe didn't even know that they could help, right? They just heard about this at the business meeting. Somebody took them aside, told them about their kid. They thought, oh, I wish I knew somebody who could help. Now they do. And I think I've told you before, in meetings, I've literally had people hold up their phones, find my website, so that everybody had the orange button on their phone by the time I sat down, right? So, and people would keep that orange button and they carry it with them into the next conversation and say, hey, look, click that. You can talk to somebody today. All right, so I'm wrapping up here because I've got to go make some money at 10 a.m. and I know you guys do too. So let's review. This is the January 2020 30-day practice challenge, and we are talking about things like organizing your time, organizing your space, organizing your money, doing one marketing activity a day, doing every day, one thing that makes you money, like returning a phone call, returning an email, developing your conversation for your 10-minute consultation. Some stuff that's going on this week. As I mentioned, I'm going to be in Austin this Saturday at the inaugural LPC Intern Summit. I've got some cool stuff going on the Kate Walker Training website. Did you know that interns and associates can join the intern and associate membership for free, get free stuff, and 10% off of almost everything in the Kate Walker Training store. It's a real thing. I'm also offering the Certified Counselor Supervisor membership, where literally you can get all your supervisor CEs. As long as you're a member, you get them for free. I'm working on, in about 2 hours, the Certified Counselor Instructor course is going live. So many folks have asked me about this because you want to teach your own 40-hour training because you're awesome people and you want to give back. So all of that material has been revamped for 2020. I've put it off a week because I'm just really trying to get everything as perfect as it can possibly be. So look for that this afternoon, because we are backwards planning our badass business goals. We are breaking down barriers because you are too important to lose to things like going broke, not knowing the rules, burning out. And remember, counselors don't quit, right? We got stuff to do. All right, have a great day, you guys.